Hello, everyone. Michael Lee Parker here for another episode here on You Are a CEO. And listen, I want to talk to you about the staggering question that we should ask ourselves sometime. Are you at a crossroad? Now, when you think about are you at a crossroad, this is something that is very, very critical to understand because there's so many things you can do right and wrong at a crossroad. Now, when we think about a crossroad, we think about a place and a point where we must make a critical decision. And I want you to think about for a minute just the term road. You think about a road is a path, it's a way, it's somewhere to travel, it's a place to journey. And we know that life itself is a journey, but there's so many sub-journeys in the bigger journey of life. There's a journey of family, there's a journey of relationships, there's a journey of business, there's a journey of career. There's so many things we go through in journeys of health and fitness and trying to understand all the ups and downs of different things that we decide every day that we're going to do in these different areas. Now, first thing and foremost is, this is You Are a CEO because we talk about how you are the CEO of your own life. By the fact that you are the CEO of your own life, this means that you are truly the decision maker of every single thing that you do in life. You are the final decision. You are the one that makes the call on what you're going to do. There's a lot of things we can't control in life. We can't control the weather. We can't control things that take place. We can't control our customers in business. We can't control the people we work for in our professional careers. We can't control some things that are hereditary in our health. But there are some things, think about it, there are some things that we have the power to actually choose. And this is a blessing within itself. The fact that we actually can make choices, the fact that we can actually make decisions, this is one of the things that we should celebrate every single day. Now, having said that, we think about making decisions. A crossroad is a point of decision. And so we want to recognize that just as we are celebrating, we have the power of decision. We want to recognize when there is a decision so that we're very clear on what our choices are and what decision we should actually make. Now, I want you to consider for a minute, when you think about your life, when you think about things that come up, there's always something that causes you to stop and actually think about whether or not you should do this or to do that. And when you get to that point, just think about it. This doesn't happen all the time, but there are points in our life where we actually think about whether I should turn left, whether I should turn right. And it is this thought process. It is this very moment that we call a crossroad. Now, I'm going to go from my whiteboard. Let's go to my whiteboard here just for a minute. And we think about ourselves and whoever we may be. You all know sometime I'll start drawing something here. And whoever we may be, and we're at this point of decision, right? And we know we can go two different ways, right? And this is often what we call the crossroad. And we see this sometime we're driving. Maybe you can take a left or a right, and you're trying to actually think through. Oh, sorry if there just for a second. You're actually trying to think through what is the right way? Have you ever been going a certain way and then you wonder, well, what is the right directions? Did the direction say left? Did the direction say right? And, we're at this place, we think about that crossroad, we're at this place where, again, we never had directions to get here in the first place. We never knew we would arrive here in the first place. No one forewarned us that we would even have to make this decision. So oftentimes, right, we come to this place in an unexpected way, right? We come to this place in a random way. And so at that point, we come to realize that we can't lean on a, particular thing that we can, say is going to always be there. Sometimes these crossroads come up at times that we just never knew they were going to come up. But when we find ourselves in that situation, we still have the power to make decision, right? We still have the power to make decision. We still have the power to actually make choices, right? And so when we think about this, each one of these areas, right, depending on which way I go, there's going to be a consequence, right? There's always a consequence. And there's also a potential opportunity. So I'm always looking at, when we think about a crossroad, I'm always thinking about the trade-off, right? Because if I go to the right, then the trade-off is I miss out on whatever was on the left. If I make a left, I miss out what was on the right. So this is what the battle we go through in trying to figure out what's the right thing to do, what's the best thing to do. But I want you to really consider something for a minute. We all have this crossroad that comes upon us where we have to think deeply about what we want to do. And I want to just encourage you today to not allow your past or anything that has happened to you, anything that you have come through to stop you from making decisions that are best for your growth and for your development. See, a crossroad is an opportunity always, if you look at it the right way, and if you're always trying to choose the best thing based on the information that you have. The key is when we don't make the right turn and the right choices because of fear, because of insecurity, because of our past, because of things that happened before, we begin to leave opportunity on the table for us to grow, for us to create more wealth, for us to be more healthy, for us to be more than we are today. We have to be willing to always press and push ourselves to go to that next level, to go to that next height. And so when you're confronted with a crossroads, you want to begin to think deeply about, will this particular decision, will it cause me to grow? Will it cause me to stay the same? Will it cause me to be complacent? Will it cause me to actually begin to complement the direction that I say I want to go in my life? We have to always consider deeply about our willingness to take the road less traveled, to take the road that actually is going to get us where we want to be. I want you to consider something right now. I want you to remember this. I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. But I want you to remember this. Easy, hard, hard, easy. Okay? Now, this is a critical concept. And I want you to understand this. And what does this actually mean? What do we mean, easy, hard, hard, easy? What I actually mean here is the things that seem that you actually take the easy road up front end up being hard later, okay? So take the easy road with your health. Eat whatever you want. Eat all the candy you want, all the fast food you want, all the processed stuff that you want. But when you get sick and you're in the hospital and you're struggling with diabetes and high blood pressure and cholesterol and clogged arteries, you'll find out that that was harder than what you really didn't want to give up with those things that you were eating, right? You'll find out that it was much harder, right? Or that individual who won't make the investment in themselves to grow their business, to grow their career. They don't want to take the time to learn what they need to learn so they can go to the next level. They don't want to take the time and put the energy in to do those things that are critical. So they end up taking the easy route. They take the quick money. They take the, they go somewhere and exchange time for money. They didn't want to take the time to invest in themselves and find out how money really works and how to get the most out of their skills and abilities and turn those things into income producing assets. Turn their ideas into assets. Turn their energy and time into assets to generate income, right? They didn't want to get around people that do this, so they took the easy way out. But then they find themselves never having enough money, struggling to pay their bills, always in a debt dilemma. Why? Because they keep taking the easy way out. So you have to understand there's a direct relationship to easy and hard. Those that are willing to see the easy, or to say the hard, as something they're willing to go through up front, then they end up in the end having something easy on the back end. So the person who is willing to work out, tear those muscle fibers and keep getting up every day, doing that workout when they don't want to, then it becomes easier later to do those workouts and maintain your fitness. It's not as hard later on after you go through that hard part, right? This is the thing that we want to realize about when we're choosing that crossroad. We tend to choose the route that is most comfortable, the route that is most easy, the route that will take the less from us, the route that doesn't require me to work as hard, the route that doesn't, make me have to think deeply about what I'm doing. And so I want you to consider for a minute that we cannot be that type of individual. Do not do that to yourself. Make sure that you see yourself as valuable enough to keep making the adjustment. And sometimes when you know you took the easy way out, remember you have a navigation system. And when you change the address in that navigation system, you can take a new pathway because you're going to a new place. So it's okay to have made the wrong decision at the crossroad. But then change the address in the navigation system so that you can start going in a direction that is better for your overall growth and development. So I want you to really consider that. Make sure you're always clear. Make sure you're always focused on the fact that there is a way that is optimal, and it always involves you growing. It always involves you not taking the easy way. But when you consider that, there's something that comes from that begins to develop. There's something from that begins to grow. Now, I want you to remember this. When you think about the fact that we all have to make these hard decisions, and hard decisions sometimes, again, if we want it to be easier later, we have to take those hard decisions. Now, I want you to think about something. There's points in your life you can think back on right now where you made a choice. And sometimes when you look back at your life, you can say, I'm so thankful that I made this particular choice because look at all that came from it, right? I think about critical points in my life, like career choices or decisions that I made at certain points in my journey in business that led to so many beautiful things. Times I chose not to give up, times that I chose to go to a training, times that I chose to, take on a challenge that was given to me, and it began to open up new opportunities for me to learn more and grow more, right? Then you can think about other opportunities where you can see that you wish you could have that decision back. I mean, all of us agree there's somewhere we wish we could have that decision back because it took us down the wrong path. It took us down the wrong way. So think about it. If you can start being more intentional at your crossroads, then you're going to find yourself being more successful. So what do we want to do? One of the first things we want to do, go back to my whiteboard here for a minute, we want to have recognition, right? I want to be able to recognize, right? Recognize your crossroads. So this is a big problem, is some people don't even recognize their crossroads. They don't even see that there's two choices, right? Because they only see things one way. They only see one path. They've got so used to doing certain things. But it's when someone hits you with something, just like you're listening to this today, when you get exposed to something better for your health, something better for your business, something better for your career, something better as a parent, something better in your relationship, when you get hit with something, that's when your crossroads begins. I'm so grateful when I went through some really difficult times in my life, I got exposed to a better way of life so I could at least have a crossroad. A crossroad is a blessing. It's the ability to have at least two places to choose from, right? Two ways to go. When you only have one way because you've only seen one way, and this is why learning is so important, exposure is so important, environment is so important, because it exposes us to another potential way, another potential route, another way we can go, right? So this is very important. Recognition. Being able to recognize. Another key thing is intention, right? So be intentional about the way you choose. Okay? Be intentional about the way you choose. So whatever way you're going to choose, make sure you were intentional. You thought through the results of me making that particular decision, right? There is an intentional way I must have, an intentional focus I must have. I'm thinking that I am making this decision on purpose because I see the benefit to my growth. I see the benefit to my wealth. I see the benefit to my wellness. These are the things we want to be able to do when considering that crossroad. Our life literally depends on it because every single day, if you start looking around, you'll see where those crossroads are. Now, I want to leave you with something. Go to my whiteboard here. And I want to leave you with some final thoughts about a crossroad. I want you to consider we must choose the path of growth, right? Choose the path of growth, right? That's the route we want to go. I want all of you to remember you are, let me write that bigger, capable, right? You are capable. Stop second guessing yourself and thinking you can't go that road. You can't make that choice because it's different. It's uncomfortable. You're not used to it. You are capable. You have the ability to do it, right? And as you begin to, go, if you have a few stumbling blocks along the way, you didn't fail, you just learned. And you start learning how to get stronger to keep traveling that path, right? This is what it takes. So you have to be able to do that. Here's another thing. You must overcome your anxiety and fear, right? Overcome your anxiety and fear, right? Push yourself past those emotions of anxiety that tells you that something bad is coming, something negative is coming, it's not going to work, and here's why, it's just going to go like it went before. Press past all of that, right? When you're at that crossroad. Do something different this time. See what it's like to go ahead and eat the right way. See what it's like to go ahead and keep that workout going. See what it's like to keep sacrificing what's required so that you can be better as an entrepreneur, better as a professional. Keep being willing to do what's required in that relationship, to say the thing that will repair the relationship and cause it to be better, or as a parent, right? To be able to do things a little bit differently, do something in a different way, because you're not going to allow that same anxiety and fear to take you back to the same place. People sometimes are afraid to communicate, afraid to be wrong, so they just don't say anything, right? All of this is critical when we're at that crossroad. Here's another key thing. Save the best for last. What do we mean? This is the mindset, right, that we need to have. Is that it's always getting better. I'm always saving the best for last, right? So it doesn't matter what happened, I'm saving the best for last. There's something coming better. There's a better me, there's a better opportunity, there's a better entrepreneur, there's a better professional, there's something more. You haven't seen the finished product. I'm saving the best for last. That's the mindset you got to have. When you start seeing your shortcomings, you say, I'm still saving the best for last. You keep pushing, right, to go in that route that you need to go at that crossroad. And last but not least, soon as possible, right? Act now. So when you're at that crossroad and you start seeing you know what you should do, don't wait. Act now. Move fast. The sooner you get on the path toward what you should be doing, the quicker you get to where you need to be. As you know, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And what is that straight line? The proper decision, right? It's, being clear, having intention, recognizing what's in front of you, and then walking that path, going in that direction, and not going back and forth in your mind and up and down, but being clear, this is exactly where I need to be, this is exactly where I need to go, and at the end, I'm going to get a greater result because I chose the best path that will help me to get where I need to be next in my business, in my life, or in my career. Now listen, make sure you like and subscribe and comment here on our YouTube channel. And I hope you see how important it is to make the right decision at the crossroad. So whatever crossroad that you're at today, whatever thing that is in front of you, whenever you are confronted and hit with more knowledge, more truth, more information that makes you think about, should I stay who I am or should I grow into something more? Should I do what I've always done or should I do something more? Should I stay where I am or should I climb to higher heights? Choose the path that causes you to climb. Choose the path that causes you to be different. Choose the path that causes you to become the person that actually then has made the investment in themselves to create the life that you really want. And once you make that decision, make sure that you always remember you are capable of overcome your anxiety and fear, save the best for last because the project is never over, and do it as soon as possible. I'm Michael Lee Parker. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time here on You Are a CEO. Until then, make sure you keep on running the business of you. I'll see you next time.